Mic. Now it is working. Okay. I will chant the mantra. You can repeat. Satchidananda Rupaya Vishvotpatyadi Hetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. We saw the description of the gurus, the source of learning. Here guru is in the sense of source of learning, resorted to by Dattatreya. He enumerated 24 gurus and he said, Esham vruttibihi shikshaha anvashiksham. I learnt the lessons from vruttibihi, from their behavior, from their traits, characteristics. From this, certain points we can derive, we can learn. First of all is, if we have sharp, subtle and observant mind, you can learn from various objects, various people, various situations, various experiences. So we require sharp mind, the mind which is able to penetrate the appearance, and subtle, not stuck with the gross things, can appreciate some subtle ideas, and observant, not taking things for granted, but ready to observe, ready to learn. So that is the first thing. If we have such mind, we can learn from objects, people and situations. Second thing is, learning can be of two types. From objects, people, situation, two types. One is called Anvaya Shiksha in Sanskrit, positive learning, and second is the learning of avoidance, Vyatireka Shiksha. I will clarify, it will be clear. Certain things we learn from, like the Prithvi we are going to see. Prithvi has got the quality of accommodation. So just as Prithvi puts up with all attack, digging etc. without reaction, similarly we also can be accommodative of people's accusation etc. So this is called positive learning. Be like Prithvi. Another one is called Vyatireka Siksha. Means don't be like them. Like we are going to study the deer, because of its attachment to music, it loses its life. Because of the attachment to the touch, experience of touch, elephant loses its life. So we avoid such attachment to various sense objects. So that is called what? Vyatireka Shiksha. Means don't be like them. In our family member also we learn both ways. Our mother may be doing something great, so we learn that we should be accommodative, caring, loving like our mother. And father was very short-tempered. So what we learn? We should not be like father who is short-tempered. So both ways we learn. One is positive learning, learning of adoption. Be like this. Adopt this quality which this person has. That is called Anvaya Shiksha, positive learning. And sometimes we learn that don't be like him. Some people, because of short temper, they lose everything in their life. In Nepal, few years ago, if you remember, some episode happened and the whole family, royal family was wiped out. One side killed other side killed this side, and both the sides finished. So in one day, so many royal family members were finished because of anger to each other. So we learn what? Don't be like that. So from our parents, we learn both. So these were very good qualities we adopt. And some things we learn what? Don't be like them. They have got this problem, because of that how much they suffered. So both ways we learn. And that is why our approach is not hatred towards anybody. Even a person has got weakness, still we learn from him. What? We should not have this weakness. Some people know they have got diabetes and still they cannot remain without eating sweet. So we learn, and because of that they suffer. Eye problem happens, heart problem, all this. So we learn from that. So don't be sapadram. We learn from that. Sapadram, you know what is sapadram? So that is called Anvaya Shiksha, Vyatireka Shiksha. And one more thing is, in this context we learn one more is, there are three types of people with regard to learning. Some people, they learn from others' experience. See, that person did like this, he succeeded, so adopt this. He did like this, he could not achieve the desired end. Don't do like this. So, we learn from others' experience without undergoing that experience. From their mistakes or their good traits we learn. That is called learning from others' experience. Some people are not that mature. That is the first quality. First quality of people are those who learn from others' experience. Second are those who learn from their own experience. They see others suffering, they don't learn. But when they themselves suffer, they say, no, I should learn, now I should not do it. So they require experience for themselves. They are second quality people. Third are what you can understand. Neither they learn from others' experience, nor they learn from their own experience. Keep on repeating the same mistake. They are the third quality people. In this area, like one person was telling his subordinate, he said, at least you do new mistakes. Mistakes you are doing okay, but at least do some new mistakes. Same mistakes you are repeating. So they don't learn from others' experience, nor they learn from their own experience. They keep on repeating the same mistakes. So best is what? You learn from your own experience, learn from others' experiences. You need not waste your energy and time always to experiment. Learn from others' experience. Observe and learn. And here, when we say that learn from others' experience, learn from nature, learn from animals, people may have one question. That, Swamiji, does it mean that we have to learn from nature and existence? People say this, learn from existence. You must have heard this expression, learn from existence, learn from nature. Yes, we learn from that. But does it mean that teachers are not necessary? We should not go to the teacher, we should observe nature and we just learn. No, that is not the case. In fact, you can learn from nature only when we have got basic learning from the teacher. Therefore, learning from nature or animals, etc., is not a replacement to the learning from the teacher. Certain things we need to learn from the teacher, from the scriptures, through the teacher. But there also we say, finally, your learning has to happen because of your own intellect. However intelligent the teacher is, however proficient the teacher is, but you yourself don't have learning ability, learning aptitude, learning mind, you will not learn. So finally, every learning happens because of your own intellect only. Teachers are definitely required, but teachers themselves are not guaranteed. It is something like you have got the best teacher for IIT, but you do not have sufficient background for studying in IIT, best teacher also cannot help. Therefore, teachers are definitely required, but teachers themselves are not the guarantee. Finally, the learning happens because of your own intellect. So, how this learning happens? Very interestingly, it is presented. The teacher has got wisdom. His wisdom is expressed through his words. And these words are again received by the disciples and converted into wisdom. Wisdom, words, wisdom. So, wisdom of the teacher is expressed in the form of words. Words are received by the disciple, the student, and again converted into wisdom. And that wisdom will be again expressed in the form of words and will be converted into wisdom by his disciple, That is how the parampara of this Guru and Shishya, Jnana parampara continues. It is something like, in mobile or your telephone, sound signal are converted into electromagnetic signal. They are converted again into sound signal. Then only you are able to hear. So sound, electromagnetic signal or whatever, and then sound. Similarly, wisdom, words, wisdom. So these words will become wisdom for the student only when the student has got that capacity. If I use this clip and put sound, if electromagnetic waves, it passes through this or falls upon it, nothing will happen. So it should have the capacity to convert this electromagnetic signal into sound signal. Similarly, the Shishya has to have the capacity to convert the words into wisdom. So wisdom of the teacher expressed in the form of words again converts into wisdom of the disciple. So wisdom of the teacher expressed in the form of words of the teacher gets converted into the wisdom of the disciple. And for that, Shishya has to have the capacity. So finally it boils down to you, your capacity. There is a beautiful shloka given in Panchadashi. He says, Yasya nasti swayam prajna shastra tasya karoti kim Lochanabhyam vihinasya darpanam kim karishyati. Means what? If a person does not have intelligence, capacity to learn, the aptitude to learn, then even Shastra, what will it do? Shastra cannot do anything. Teacher cannot do anything. Like what? Lochanabhyam vihinasya. A person who is blind, to that blind person you give Belgium mirror. Mirrors are for Belgium, very considered to be high quality. So Belgium mirror you give. What is the prayojanam? Belgium mirror to the person who is blind. No prayojanam, no purpose. So finally, what we want to highlight is that finally, in fact, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Atma Atmano Guru. Final wisdom gateway is what? Your own intellect. Teachers, scriptures, all of them are just contributing to it. But finally, conviction, clarity has to be attained by your own intellect. If your intellect is receptive, then you will get wisdom. If it is not receptive, however great the teacher is, it does not matter. Therefore, this learning from nature, learning from animals, etc., is not a replacement to the learning from the teacher. In fact, you can learn from nature, etc., only when you have got basic learning from the teacher. Your learning depends upon your background. Everybody cannot learn everything from everyone. For that you require some background, and that background is given by the teacher. And therefore, this type of description should not mislead or should not lead you to wrong conclusion that I will learn from nature like Dattatreya, I did not go to the teacher. Basic learning you require, and with that basic learning, you keep learning from nature. That is the message here. So with this background, we will be entering into the description of each teacher. Alright, the first one is Prithvi. He says, what is to be learned from Prithvi, the earth? Bhuterakramyamanopi Dhiro deva vashanugaihi Tadvidvanna chalen margat Anvashiksham kshitervratam. Yes. Bhutaihi akramyamanaha api dhiraha devavashanugaihi tat vidvan na chalet margat anvashiksham kshitehe vratam. So there are two lessons learnt from Prithvi Tattva, the earth. The first one is titiksha, kshama, accommodation. This is one of the big problems, and now in the present era, this intolerance is so much increasing. So here what is to be learned? Acceptance, tolerance, accommodation. Present days people have very little tolerance. I am seeing that. For small thing they flare up. So many fights. Because of this, I am not ready to accommodate. The rate of divorce is increasing. Why? Not able to accommodate each other. Sometimes there may be a genuine situation. I don't want to just those who have divorced, all of them are wrong. But many a times there is intolerance, not ready to put up with anyone. So Dattatreya is saying here, learn to accommodate. And where from do you learn? Prithvi. So the earth is attacked by human beings, animals in so many ways. It is dug, it is stomped. So many ways it is attacked. We are considering Prithvi to be a live entity. Learning when we are doing, we have some imagination also. So how much it is attacked, tormented by different people in different ways, but Prithvi does not react, puts up. Therefore, when we talk about kshama, accommodation, we take the example of Prithvi. Be accommodative like Prithvi. That is said here, Bhutehi akramyamanaha api dhiraha deva vashanugaihi tadvidvan margat na chalet. Akramyamanaha api dhiraha, an intelligent person. Akramyamana means attacked. Bhutehi, by different beings, living beings, non-living beings. Especially here in this context, living beings. Deva vashanugaihi. The factors which are attacking, they themselves are under the sway of this Devam, Prarabdha. And by them, when a person is attacked, then Tad Vidwan, one who is knowing this fact, that when people are behaving in a hurting manner, that time also they are under the spell of prarabdha, they are in order. Nobody wants to be a bad person. However much hurting was the behavior of a person, it was because of his or her background. It is something like when you are standing in a queue, you get pushed by the person behind you. You get angry with that person. And you know that person says, "Sir, what to do? I was pushed." Then you will not have that anger with the person, because what to do? You can see that yes, he was pushed by other person. And if you ask why that third person, he said, "I was pushed." And finally you find one bull had come. And bull had pushed this person, then your anger goes away. When you know that you were pushed by different people because of someone who were under the spell of, under the control of those factors which are out of our control, then what? Your anger goes away. So tad vidwan, knowing that the factors which were hurting, they also were under the spell of some other factor, margat na chalet, would not deviate from one's pursuit. Knowing fully well that the people who have hurt me, they themselves were under the spell of some uncontrollable factors, prarabdha or some order, knowing that fully well, one would not deviate from one's own pursuit. I was harassed by my siblings, suppose, or my so-called friends, neighbors, or colleagues. But if we see, they themselves were under the spell of certain background, and therefore they themselves were helpless. Knowing that fully well, I do not deviate from my pursuit. And this is how Anvashiksham, Dattatreya says, I learned Kshitehe Vratam, the established trait of Prithvi, the earth. So from the earth, Vratam means, literally means vow. Vow means established trait, niyamam. Prithvi has got the niyamam, it does not react. So I learned from Prithvi not to react to any behavior of any person. When we hear this, most of you will have this question. Swamiji, does it mean we should allow us to be a doormat? No. We should allow anybody's harassment. Then that person will be, if he put up with it, he will become more and bolder. He will increase his harassment. Should we allow that? No. In fact, it is a wrong thing to allow wrong people. These are the arguments. I know that. I am going to answer them. So some people are, when they are doing wrong thing and they are harassing me, hurting me repeatedly, Swami, do you mean to say that we should accommodate that, we should allow that, we should not react? Then we are encouraging adharma, wrong things, unrighteousness, and we continue to suffer, Swamiji. Does it mean we should continue to suffer? Allowing the people to do wrong things, allowing the people to harass us? For that, our answer is, we are not saying for everybody that one should allow other person to harass you. There are twofold answer to that question. A person who is a wise person and who has gone beyond all suffering, he will not mind, he will let the people do whatever they are doing. But that is not the case with everybody, and therefore for ordinary people our answer is, you need not allow other person to hurt you again. Should not allow. Make a boundary. Draw a boundary so that that person doesn't hurt you again. Once he hurt you, you were ignorant. So next time you need not allow the person, draw the boundaries as much as you can. And if person has done some adharma, stealing, etc., and you require to complain to the police, etc., do it. We are not saying that. Acceptance does not mean absence of action. Acceptance means absence of reaction. What type of reaction? Why it happened to me? Sometimes this thing happened some 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and you still hold on to it. Why it happened to me, Swamiji? Why he told like this? Sometimes even that person is dead and gone. Still you hold on to that. So when we are talking about acceptance, what we are saying is, learn to drop resistance to the fact that has already taken place. Somebody hurt, accept the fact that that person has hurt. Now you have got a choice. You can stop the person hurting you again, and if it is some illegal, unjustifiable act, you can even do the complaint or whatever needs to be done, you do it. But keep on saying, why me? Why me? Why it, Swamiji, happened to me only? That is called resistance. That is called reaction. That is to be dropped. Many people know for years together they keep on complaining about their parents. My father did not give me fees for going to this college. I wanted to go to that college, and he had money, he did not give me money. So keep on for whole life. And because of that, what happens? You keep on entertaining the feeling of hurt, and that puts you down. In fact, that weakens you. When you entertain the feeling of hurt, you are not a strong person. And therefore, what is said here is, I learn to accept all the facts of my life. If some action is to be done, do it. But let go of this feeling of hurt that this has happened. It has already happened. Whatever needs to be done, I will do it. But I will not allow myself to be weakened by the constant, this feeling of hurt. I let go. Let go doesn't mean that we allow the person to go scot-free. That is not what we mean. Do what is to be done. But the reaction that why it happened to me, that reaction, that anger, I let go. So acceptance does not mean absence of action. Acceptance means absence of reaction. Somebody told 20 years ago some statement and still keep on telling why he did like this, why he did like this. And we have got, generally with Swamiji, my memory is not good. I am not able to remember the shlokas. But when it comes to these things, you have got vivid memory. Swamiji was standing near that door, door was half open. All these details you have. She was wearing this dress and she told me like this. How can she say like this? So imagine how much vivid memory you have. And that I say, that person has got the background to do whatever he or she did. This is a very important understanding for acceptance. Everybody wants to behave in the best possible manner. But everybody does not behave in the best possible manner. Both facts are there. Everybody wants to be a good person, wants to behave in the best possible manner, but everybody does not behave in the best possible manner. Swamiji, how do you say so? Ask yourself. Do you want to behave in the best manner or not? Do you want to be a good person or not? But are you a good person all the time in your behavior? So how this is the case with you? You want to be a good person, you want to behave in the best possible manner, but you don't find yourself behaving in the best possible manner. Why? Because of your background. If you have been hurt, then you will have tendency to hurt. As somebody said nicely, the hurt will hurt. If you are hurt, you will have tendency to hurt others. The hurt will hurt. It will happen. If you have been exploited, then you will be angry with the world. You have been ditched, therefore you will doubt others. So many times you say, Swamiji, how come this my spouse doubts me? Because that person has been ditched. And therefore even though you are you do not have any doubtful behavior, but that person is helpless. So if you see any person's behavior with his background, you will see that person cannot be otherwise. In fact, even the terrorist you can tell this. If you have got understanding of the order, even terrorists you can say, what you did is understandable. What you did was not right. There is a difference between justification and validation. Justification means what? What you did was right. You shot 20 people is right. That is called justification. Some religious people will justify, no, he should do this. That is called justification. Whereas validation means what? With your background, you will behave in this manner only. With any given background, a person will behave in the manner he or she behaves. This understanding is called validation. Validation means what? With your background, you will behave in this manner only. I understand. This is called validation. If I were in his place, her place, with his background, I would have behaved in the same manner. This is called validation, not justification. Person killed somebody, or he did some stealing, etc., robbery, etc. It is not justifiable. What he or she did was not right. But with his background, if you see the background of the person, with his background completely you see, you will be able to see that if I were in his place with his background, don't say my background, I were in his place with his background, I would have done the same thing. This is called understanding that everybody behaves according to one's background because of order. This is called psychological order. Similarly, there is an order of karma. Because of certain karmas, person will not be able to think in a particular way. However much you say, he cannot. So there is an order of karma, there is a psychological order. Because of that, person will behave in a particular way. Understanding this order, we accommodate the person, we accept the person as he or she is. That is called titiksha, acceptance, accommodation. So accommodation is not a sign of weak person. We are not talking about this weakness, oh what to do, this fellow will hit me if I react, therefore I accommodate. That is not we are talking about. I have strength to react, but still because of my maturity I do not react to the behavior of a person. That is called accommodation. And when you have got the accommodation in your life, then you will not have complaints against the world. You are at peace with yourself. You are at peace with the world. And that is learned from Prithvi. And this accommodation, this acceptance, is to be understood properly, otherwise people may think that we are talking about fatalism, etc. We are not talking about that. We are talking about mature response. Acceptance is a mature response to the situation, to the behavior of people. It is not weakness, it is not gullible, being gullible or gullibility, it is not, it is mature response to the situation, mature response to the behavior of people. Like mother, when the child is throwing tantrums because child is hungry, then what is the response of mother? Oh, he is like this because of this reason. So mother does what is to be done without getting angry. Mature mother I am talking. Immature mother will react also. But mature mother say, now he is feeling sleepy, therefore he is doing like this. Or he needs some food, therefore he is doing like this. So how you understand the background of the person and validate the behavior of the person. Similarly, you can validate the behavior of everybody. In your mind, everybody is in order. Sarve bhavanti sthane. All are in order. Aham bhavami sthane. I am also in order. So I also did some mistakes because of my background. So I don't become harsh to myself. In fact, Puja Swamiji, Swami Dayanandji used to say that we need to be kind to ourselves too. As we need to be kind to others, we need to be kind to ourselves. And what is the meaning of kind to be oneself? Being non-judgmental, not being harsh in judging ourselves. That is kindness. I might have done some mistakes, but I do not brand myself as a bad person, or I brand myself as useless person, idiot. All these things I do not say about even myself. That is called kindness to oneself. Yes, what all mistakes that has happened we acknowledge. But based on those mistakes, we do not make a judgment about ourselves. What is the meaning of judgment? Judgment means putting the person in a slot, labeling the person. He is short-tempered. No, instead of that, he has got tendency to lose temper in many situations. That is a fact. We don't brand the person as a short-tempered. Similarly, I do not brand myself as a short-tempered person. What do I say? I have to be careful, otherwise I may lose my temper. This is called being non-judgmental. Acknowledge the fact. Don't ignore the facts. Don't say, no, I don't get angry, I don't get angry. That is called denial of facts. You do get angry. You do have the episodes of getting angry. But don't make a judgment. I am an angry man. Don't say that. You can see the difference. Acknowledge the facts without labeling to oneself and to others. This is called kindness to oneself. Be kind to yourself. Don't judge yourself in a harsh manner. You judge yourself and you brand yourself, label yourself, then who is going to release you? When you yourself have branded yourself, then nobody can release you. And therefore, don't brand yourself. Be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to be free from certain limitations you have. And that is called accommodation. Learn from Prithvi Tattva. Alright. Then, another quality to be learned from the Prithvi, and that is sharing, contributing. That is said in the next shloka. Shashvat parartha sarveha pararthekanta sambhavaha साधु शिक्षेत भूभृत्तः नग शिष्यः परात्मताम्. Yes. Prithvi has got various forms. One is Prithvi in general, which we talked about in the previous shloka. Now Prithvi as the mountain and Prithvi as the trees. So they are also manifestation of Prithvi. So they are included in Prithvi. So mountain, the Prithvi, the earth in the form of mountain, what we can learn, and what we can learn from the earth as the trees, that is said here. And the shloka is Shashvas Parartha Sarveha Pararthekanta Sambhavaha Sadhuhu Siksheta Bubhruttaha Nagashishyaha Paratmatam. So these words are used for the mountain and a noble person both. Shashvat Parartha Sarveha. All activities are Shashvat means all the time. Parartha. Parartha means for the well-being of others. And Pararthekanta Sambhavaha. The mountain, trees, they are, Sambhava means birth. Their birth is Ekanta, absolutely for Parartha, well-being of all. Their all activities are meant for the well-being of others, and their very birth is because of the absolutely for others. Trees are meant for serving others. Mountains are meant for serving others. Similarly, noble people, they always focus on contribution, as if they are born for serving others. Pujya Swamiji, when I say Pujya Swamiji, I mean Swami Dayanandji. Those who do not know, for them I am telling. He used to emphasize this point, that everybody is a consumer. Without consumption of water, food, various resources, you cannot live your life. Your very life depends upon consumption. Without consumption, life is not possible. Air you consume, water you consume, food you consume, various resources of nature you consume. But contributor you have to become. You have to take an initiative to be a contributor. Consumer you are. Consumer you need to be for your survival, for your living, for your life. But learn to be a contributor. And why should I contribute? Many people ask this question. Swamiji, I have hard-earned money. Why should I give in charity? Even though I have a lot of money, I am not using, but why should I give? I am getting pension nowadays, very good pension people have. 1 lakh, 2 lakhs pension. They hardly spend 25,000-30,000. Keep on saving, and if you ask for some charity, some good cause is there, 5,000 at least you give. No. Hard-earned money. Why should I contribute? People have this question. I have earned for myself, why should I contribute? This is a question. When you contribute, really speaking, you are not obliging the world. World is benefited is a byproduct. Really speaking, you are benefited. Why? Because when you contribute, then you are expanded emotionally. More you hold on to something, you become weaker and weaker. When you learn to let go, learn to share, you expand. That is why Swami Dayananda used to say very nicely, He said, even Bhagavan Vishnu, when he came to get something, he had to become a Vamana, small. So, when you just keep on receiving, you become very small, very insecure. When you learn to contribute, share, you are expanded. And when you are expanded, then the small problems will not become big for you. Nowadays, people get bothered by small things. This did not happen, newspaper did not come, this did not happen, this is taking longer. For small things, people are hassled, people are stressed. Why? Because their mind is very small, self-centered, small mind. When you grow big, then small things remain small. And so for your own growth, let there be contribution. Learn to contribute. But Swamiji, I cannot part with my money. For me, very difficult, Swamiji. I cannot give. Some people, they cannot give. They always can receive, they cannot give. Giving is very difficult. बोले कि हिंदी में बोलते जान निकल जाएगी स्वामी जी. If I give money, my life, my prana will go away. That much attachment is there. Okay, don't give money. Give some time. Give 15-20 minutes serving others. Just do small action for the well-being of the society. At least one thing you can do is pray for the well-being of totality. That much you can do. Start with that. Every day, 5 minutes, I will pray, not for myself, my family, I will pray for the well-being of the world. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. I will chant one stotram for the well-being of the world. Start with that. You need to develop the heart to give. Once heart is there, then you will give everything. Learn to give. And especially if you want to pursue Vedanta, if you want to pursue moksha, freedom, habit of giving is a must. Unnegotiable. A people who keep on grabbing only, not parting with, not sharing, they cannot own up this freedom. Unnegotiable. Tyagena eke amrutatva manashuhu. Upanishad says, amrutatvam, immortality, moksha is attained by what? Tyaga, renunciation only. You know why? Because in the vision of Vedanta, you are already free. You are feeling bound because holding on to something what you are not. So the whole pursuit of moksha is the pursuit of giving up only. You give up ignorance born mistakes, wrong conclusions, wrong samskaras, wrong impressions. So the whole pursuit of freedom is the pursuit of renunciation. Nothing new is to be attained because you are already free in the vision of Vedanta. So the whole pursuit is the pursuit of renunciation, and that you should start. The final renunciation of ignorance and ignorance-born conclusions will happen only when in Vyavahara you have learned to give. You have learned to share. The people who do not share, people who do not give, they cannot attain moksha. That is guaranteed. Moksha is not possible for the people who are having that miserly mind. Not sharing with anything, sharing with anybody, anything. That is not suitable mind. So if you want to really attain moksha, learn to renounce, learn to share, learn to contribute. And when you are contributing, never have the superiority, the air of superiority. See, I am giving so much food to so many people. No. Reverential contribution. That's why we use one more word, reverential contribution, and that is called Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? Reverential contribution. And to give this idea of reverential contribution, we have got 5 Mahayagnas to be done by every Grihasthas. What are they? One is called Deva Yajna, where we offer our propitiation to Devatas, various aspects of nature. Deva Yajna. So we worship Devatas. Second is called this Pitru Yajnas, offering something to our forefathers, departed forefathers. But one thing nowadays we add, that it is not enough that you do Shraddha Tarpana for the departed forefathers, take care of your live forefathers. Live forefathers you don't do anything, and afterwards you said I will do Tarpana Shraddha, is not good. Take care of your parents, No, but Swamiji, my parents are too much. You also were too much when you were a child. Still your parents brought you up. So, take care of them as much as you can. You are not obliging them. It is your duty. So, contribution to the live parents and departed forefathers, that is called Pitru Yajna. Third is called Brahma Yajna. Our reverential contribution to this propagation of the Shastra and expressing our gratitude to the Rishis, because of whom we have got the scriptures. So, reverential offering to the Rishis by expressing our gratitude in a particular manner and contributing to the propagation of Shastra. You yourself chant the Shastra, whatever you know, teach others if you know well. Don't teach if you don't know well. If you know Shastra well, teach others. And if you cannot teach, if some teaching activity is going on, contribute your time, your management, logistics, fund, financial help, whatever way you can contribute to the propagation of Shastra you do, that is called Brahma Yajna. Otherwise called Rishi Yajna. Third is Manushya Yajna. Manushya Yajna means doing some social service. In olden days, Manushya Yajna was in the form of Atithi Seva. Whoever comes to your place, serve them well. Now, the guest may not come, nowadays guests very rare, but anybody needs some help and you are in position to help. Why should I help? Because you are in position to help. In some situation you need help and somebody helped you, and therefore you continue that particular flow. That is called Manushya Yajna. And Bhuta Yajna means serving to other living beings like animals, plants, etc. That is called Bhuta Yajna. So, reverential contribution to the totality. Not to oblige others, but for my inner growth. You can see this in your life. More you become contributor, more expansion is there, more happiness is there. You feel connected to the totality. If you are holding on to your own possessions and not sharing, you will remain like an island, unconnected island. When you learn to share, you be connected with totality. So for your own growth, for your own good, you contribute. But here we put a note. Contribution, serving others should not be done helplessly. Like some people are helpless givers. Means if they don't give, they feel uncomfortable. That need not be. If Bhagavan gives me the opportunity and resources to give, I will definitely give. But if there is no such situation or I am not in position to give, I accept that fact. So we don't become compulsive givers. I have observed this, that when people grow older, they have got the need to be needed. Need to be needed. Means what? They expect that people should come and ask for advice, ask for some help. And if people don't come ask for help or guidance, they feel very miserable. That is a weakness. Anything? Oh,
Your
okay.
feet are up, isn't it?
It's okay, let it be.
Your feet are up.
Yeah, it's okay. So, we need not have that type of compulsion to give. Many the people, senior citizen, they are bringing milk from the milk parlor. They are doing that work. And by chance, the children tell, no, Appa, now it is not required because sometimes you fall off and then we have to come and rescue and please don't do it. Then the father feels so miserable. Why? See, it is not very safe to do it and therefore please don't do it. We will hire somebody to, no, I want to do it. So that also one has to outgrow. When you give out of strength, not out of weakness. Oh, if I don't give, I feel so miserable. That is not a healthy condition. If chance is there, give. If situation does not permit, not giving also is okay. And that is what is advised here. Whenever you give opportunity, share. Learn to share. And that will help you grow. And that will learn from what? From mountain. Bhubrutaha sadhuhu siksheta. Sadhu means a noble person would learn, should learn. From what? Bhubrutaha. Panchami vibhakti. Bhubrutaha. From the mountain. From the mountain we learn that how mountain is sharing its water, trees and everything. Similarly, we learn to share from the mountain which is the manifestation of the earth. And Naga Shishyaha. Naga means the tree. It's a very beautiful expression. Nagaha means what? Na gacchati iti nagaha. Gacchati iti gaha. Na gacchati iti nagaha. The tree is called nagaha because it does not run away. Imagine that you have a tree here, morning, and the evening next day you go and tree has gone somewhere 2 kilometers away. Or you want to pluck some fruits or flowers or something, tree runs away, you have to be after him. That type of situation is not there. Therefore tree is called what? Nagaha, nagacchati. So naga shishyaha, being a disciple of the tree, paratmatam siksheta. Paratmatam means being available for others. Healthy attitude. I am available for others, but I will not force my help. See, some people, they are unsolicited advisors. Nobody asks, but they keep on advising others. You should do like this, you should do like this. Especially in ashram, it is very common. There's somebody junior who comes newly entrant, then the senior person will go and so much bombardment. You should do this, you should do this. So unnecessary we should not advise. But if somebody needs advice, available. So I generally say, don't become USA, unsolicited advisor. Become SA, solicited advisor. So if your advice is solicited, ask. Don't say, you should do this, you should do this. Don't do that. That is not necessary. So paratmatam means being available for others. I am making this what is called bhavarthaha, this idea-wise translation. Paratmatam literally means being meant for others. Parasmai atma yasya. That paratma tasya bhava paratmata tam. So paratmatam here in the sense of being available to others. So this contributory life is very, very important for your spiritual growth. The people who have not lived a life of contribution to others in the previous life or in this life, then those people will not be succeeding in spiritual pursuit. One needs to have this life of sharing. After leading the life of sharing alone, they can have the discovery of limitless self. And therefore, this is important. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.